Hello everybody. How are we doing tonight? So sorry that this didn't go out yesterday. We had an awfully long day yesterday and had a lot of figures to build. So we had Mr. Nerd this morning building these magnificent figures. Oh hi, WARHAMMER Gaming, hello. So as of today we are beginning the Darkwater, the Warhammer Quest Darkwater game. And we are starting with the heroes. Which, to be honest, I should probably get the names up because I know all of these have names. They're not just heroes and they're not just called Steve. I can name at least one of them Steve, but I don't think that's his official name. That was Mr. Nerd in the other room giving his vote that one of the characters should be called Steve. Today I plan on painting two characters, and one is the Enchantress and then the other one is this dwarfy boy, which I'll try and focus on. Maybe he should be called Steve. Kind of looks like a Steve. But let's get their official names up, shall we? By the time we got home yesterday, we were like, we don't even have enough time to build these, let alone do anything else. Okay, so we'll start with the good guys because that's who we're focusing on today. So, let's see if we can get their pictures up as well so I know exactly who I'm talking about, so I'm not just picking random ones out. To one side. First we have this boy. This is Edmark Valoran. He's very cool. He is the Manticore Knight. Then we have Bren Tylis, the Renegade Saint, because why not? The Manticore Knight, you mean? Yes, the Manticore Knight. Obviously, that's what I mean. Then we have the lady we're painting today. She is Inara Scion, the Cleansing Blade. She's an enchantress, and she's very cool. Then we have our dwarfy boy, whose official name is Gerolf Ironhead, the Grizzled Explorer, but Mr. Nerd thinks he should be called Steve. The name will be Steve Seven Axes. Then you have because technically there's a couple more in here. There's a few more in here. There's 4 more. So we need to get those names up with their pictures. Then you have... He only has 2 axes, but he can't count too well. I like that. Then you have... This is Kelathanor, the Forest Prince, and he looks really, really cool. He doesn't need to count too well. As long as he can hit things with his axe, he's okay. Then we have Big Angry Boy, who kind of reminds me of Krampus. So he might be called Krampus. This is Dreshavorn, the Rampaging Beast. And then these two technically come together. So you have this boy, and then you have his little wolfy doggo companion, who's obviously the bestest boy in the world. Has to be. And he is called... This is Jacobus Vine, the Jade Wizard. And it doesn't look like his papa has a name. Oh, it's Whisper. The forest spirit he calls Whisper. So there we go. So Jacobus, and then little Whisper, who is very, very tiny. Like if I just leave him on the thing on the table, you can see how tiny he is. He's just a little guy. He's just a little guy. That's our heroes. Beginning with these guys, I'm hoping to paint at least 2 each stream, at least doing like the base of each and going through that way. And then once we've done that, we will then move on to the villains, which, for those of you who don't know, the villains as part of Darkwater are the Nurgling. So there are quite a few, actually. You have the Prince of Swords, the Cyst Witch, which sounds absolutely revolting. Then you have the Cleaver, the Foulhooth, and then Cankerborn, which sound horrific. Blight Templars, Pox Wretches, Pestigors, and then you have Mere Kelpies, which are essentially Dead Sea Doggos. Because who doesn't need a Dead Sea Doggo? I'm sure at one point they were good boys, just not anymore. But anyway, I'm just going to get up a photo of the lovely lady I have in front of me, which is Inara, just to get a general fix of how she's supposed to look, which I will show you now. So this is Inara. It's very bright on there, but she's got dark hair, she's got a white dress. So that'll be really easy to achieve today. Hello, Signed, how are you? Let me just change that on there so you can see signed messages in if you're watching this from YouTube, in addition to obviously on the screen. There we go. So we're starting with our lovely enchantress today. And technically her dress is white, but I'm going to make it off-white. I'm good. How's the missus? How's Mr. Nerd and the wee lad? The wee lad is fine. He's been snoozing most of the day. He's kicked me a few times whenever we've had some food, so he's obviously, you know, he has his intentions set. As long as he's being fed, he's happy. I'm fine. How about you, Mr. Nerd? Are you alive? Oui. Mr. Nerd is alive. He is fine. So everybody in the household is in good standing today. I'm going to begin with... Where are you hiding? Celestra Grey. Just because I don't really like using white too much on characters. I prefer to use off-white or even a light grey, and then I'll use Ulthen Grey later as a layer paint to kind of add the highlights, which is a whiter grayscale. Just because I feel like it works a bit better. But personal preference and all that. But anyway, how are you, Signed? How many days is it now until your holiday? 8. 8 and counting. Fantastic. Righty. I'm excited about this because I get to use some of my lovely blues today. I can promise you there is in fact paint on this brush that I'm using. It's just so pale you can barely tell. But that's kind of that's the colour I want, really. When we popped in to go pick this up yesterday, they were doing a little demo of it, and it looks really, really exciting. It looks really fun. We got there bright and early. As soon as it opened, we picked up our little collection. How is the background music? The song's fading at the moment, but how is it for volume? Is it okay? This is good. Good. Happy. I finally did it signed yesterday. We officially bought a Terry Chocolate Orange. I had my first Terry Chocolate Orange this morning of the year, of the Christmas season. Woohoo, nice. Yes. We have one more in the fridge, which I'm sure we will devour in no time at all. To be honest, every time I've been opening the fridge, it's been sat there staring at me. So I've had to quickly look away every single time. Even though I've had one today, and my brain's been like, oh, but there's the other one. I have to remind myself I don't need to eat both in the same day. I can, but I don't need to. There we go. Whilst that dries, we move on to the next section. I think I'll do some of her skin tone next. It whispers, eat me. It does. It does every single time. For her skin tone, I'm going to mix a tiny bit of Gortha Brown with some Bugman's Glow. Just because then I think it will make that nice pinky kind of beigey brown that I'm after. Just create a pink undertone. To be honest, I'm surprised it survived yesterday. We bought them yesterday. I was expecting to eat them yesterday, and we didn't. And because we didn't eat them yesterday, we rewarded ourselves with one today. That's how that works, right? Right. I will say she does have fabulous hair. All of the waves. I wonder if she uses L'Oreal. Maybe she does. It's very voluminous, that's for sure. I mean, she's an enchantress. I doubt she's ever had a bad hair day. Gotta make sure I get her tootsies. She'd look a little bit bizarre if she didn't have painted tootsies. There we go. She now has painted tootsies. Since we were talking about it only seems fair to do her hair next. Maybe she forgot to tan her feet. I mean, I think anybody, any girl or guy who's ever fake tanned has probably done that at some point. Or they just get to that point and they're like, yeah, I'm done with this part. I know quite a few people who do it intentionally sometimes, where they don't need their full legs out for an event, so they'll just tan their arms and their face and their chest and just leave their legs because they don't know who's going to see them. Gonna get some Abaddon black for the hair. I only tan my feet, only the feet, nothing else. But you, Mr. Nerd, Mr. Rothmer, whenever you do tan, you tan really, really well and very quickly. In the summer, he immediately goes all bronze and lovely in the sun. And then you get me, because I am half English, half Irish, I just go pink and then go back to white again. It's kind of a sad existence at times. I've never fake tanned before. It's not worth the hype. It really isn't. I've done it a few times, mostly when I was a teenager, and I've had a couple of spray tans for certain events. Yeah, it's okay. It's not, if it's your thing, absolutely go for it. But you're not missing out on anything by doing it or by not doing it. I turned red, like bright red. Yeah, that's the same as me, signed. If I manage to get, the other thing as well is I'll get a few freckles. So I don't have freckles like really on my face. I have freckles on my arms though. So in the summer they will sometimes join together. So I'll have like lots and lots of freckles all over my arms. And then after that, it's back to just being white again. And if I'm really unlucky, like I said, I just burn and I look like a lobster. I like my pasty white skin. Nothing wrong with it. Embrace it. I mean, me myself, I could give Casper the Friendly Ghost a run for his money with my very white skin, which you can see, unfortunately, at the moment is full of blue veins. They're very visible blue veins. You will now have 14 Advent chocolates to eat when you come over to the UK, signed. 14 Terry's Chocolate Orange Advents to eat. We officially decorated for Christmas yesterday. We officially have a Christmas tree up. Yes, and when I arrive, it will be 22. Amazing. Yeah, we officially put our Christmas tree up yesterday. Our cats have already been in it multiple times. Unless it's one I don't like. That's fair. If it's something you don't like, then they may have to go to either your friend or your friend's husband. I don't like the exploding ones, the ones with the pop rocks. Her husband likes those. That's okay. I can understand why. It's like a weird texture thing, to be honest. I'll eat anything when it comes to cherry chocolate orange. Those popping candy are the best, in my opinion. A bit of a surprise as you eat them. Exactly. I think that's the point with the pop rocks or the popping candy. But texturally, I also understand why people are like, I'm not into this sensation. I don't know the sensation. Yeah. That is fair enough. It's completely understandable. My mum accidentally gave chocolate eggs with that popping candy into an elderly resident at the nursing home. Panic galore. Oh goodness. I can imagine. Although panicked, but also in my sick mind, slightly funny, as long as everyone was safe and everything was okay. Nobody died, so that's good. Yes, I would call that a success. She has a very voluminous fringe here. Because she's so dainty, I have to be really careful. I don't want to risk getting paint all over everything. But if I do, I can just clean it up. Worst case scenario. There's like a little jewel in the middle of her forehead there. At the moment, she is giving off Esmeralda vibes. I agree. She does kind of give off Esmeralda vibes, to be honest. Especially like the end of the movie where she's actually in that white slip dress. Maybe that's her new name. It's no longer Inara, it is Esmeralda. There we go. I think she's doing rather nicely at the moment. Okay, now I'm going to move on to some of the blue. The thing I'm not looking forward to doing is her face, like actual features. They worry me ever so slightly. Just because she's just so tiny. Right, actually I'm going to do her blade next. Which of course is being done with lead belcher. And since she's known as the cleansing blade, I'm going to use lead belcher. And then over the top, I'm going to go in with Drakenhoth Nightshade. I finished my Titus yesterday and I didn't bother with his face. I don't blame you. So I remember you sent me a little thing yesterday. It was like, my decapitated Titus is done. I can't bother with his face then. But then again, he's dead. So it's decapitated Titus. It's okay. You don't really worry about the face. There we go. The lower half of the blade is gold. As is the buckle around her waist. But this little jug she's holding is silver, part of it. So I'll do that next as well. Mr. Nerd is in the festive spirit and he's officially started having some mulled wine, which is really irritating because it's my favourite Christmas drink and I can't have it at the moment for obvious reasons. Well, as he would say, I can, I just shouldn't. Because it smells amazing. Don't do it. You can have a glass after the lad is born. Exactly. And since I'm in preterm, I'm kind of hoping he comes just before Christmas so that I can have my little lad and my glass of mulled wine on hopefully Christmas Day. That would be ideal. Should have a bottle with just a straw and no glass needed. Exactly. Although, to be honest, Mr. Ned has managed to find me quite a nice 0% one. But when we went out yesterday, they did not have any left anywhere. Really sad. Really disappointed. So I was really hoping for one. Because then I could at least lie to myself and tell myself I'm drinking mulled wine when I wasn't. So instead, every time he makes it now, the house just smells of mulled wine, and I have to just kind of be happy with that, with the house just smelling of it. Which is actually difficult because this one is like cranberry and orange. So, or cranberry and clementine, something like that. And it smells amazing. This little chest piece that she has up here is actually like a bluish grey. So I'm going in with rust grey. I thought I was done with this colour after our Space Wolves, but apparently not. By proxy, exactly. He knows now every single time he has one, he has to at least let me like smell. It sounds really weird, but I have to just smell the glass, just to be like, yep, that's mulled wine. Happy now. That's my little thing. Because I can't drink it. I'll just have to smell it and go from there. There we are. I'm just trying to decide whether or not I want to go copper or gold. I think I'll go for some copper on the jug she's got, and then gold on her sword. Because it's kind of a coppery gold colour. So I think I can get away with copper. So for that, I'm going to go in with Hashut copper. Like, she's quite minimalistic in what she carries. Like, she's got everything in her little satchel on her hip or in her hands, and you know that's all she needs in her sword. Whereas like our other boy, if I remember correctly, is Drolf. Yeah, Drolf Ironhead, basically. You know, Steve. He's got quite a lot to do on him. That Hashut is a nice copper. It's a really nice copper. I haven't had the chance to use it yet, but it's a beautiful colour in the pot. I think it'd be perfect for the little pot she's carrying. I think I'm going to use some contrast paints to do the water. At least start with a base of contrast paints. Obviously do a base colour and then apply contrast paints on top and go from there. And there's like a particular point where the water obviously crosses over the blade. Just here, and that's kind of where the focus of that blue is on the blade, because obviously it's reflecting. So I may do something a little bit special with the Drakenhoth on there. I've got another, Mr. Nerd has gone out and bought me another Christmas present. He bought me another lion. He hasn't been built yet, but he is lion as in our lovely Lion from Horus Heresy version. So we're painting Lion again in a few weeks. But he'll be Horus Heresy Lion, so that's exciting. But he's also bought me some Dark Knights as well. Dark Angels? Yeah, Dark Angels specifically. He did build these today. They've got like little like gas masks on. They just look really, really cool. Young Lion, exactly, in his prime. The Dark Angels banner, which is incredible. Before he dozed off. Exactly, before he went for the long sleep for 10,000 years. You know, he needed a good nap. Problem is now, it was such a good nap that he probably doesn't know what that world's going on. Those Dark Angels are some of my favourite models, to be honest. They are incredible. essentially when we bought our sets, Mr. Nerd, aka Rothman's, his set is about 2,000 points already, whereas mine is only about 1,000. So because of that, every time he sees something Dark Angels, he's just picking it up for me. I think I'm going to go into the second layer of Celestra Grey now. I just like the fact that I don't count points, just the coins. Yeah, I understand that. But his Tau army that he got is massive. So because of that, he's like, we need to make up some points here, so it's at least fair game when we play each other. Just making sure I haven't got too much paint building up in any of the little creases. Have you got your eyes on anything specific? Because obviously I know when you come over here, you're going to Warhammer World. Have you got your eyes on anything specific that you want to look at when you're here? Or are you just going to have a little browse and kind of see what speaks to you? Oh, definitely going to see if they have some Dawn of Fire books that I'm missing. And for the rest, just some browsing and taking pictures. That sounds good to me. At least you know if you've got a general idea, you know to save some room in your suitcase for when you're going back. I know you're not flying, which obviously makes it a lot easier. But still. I think it is time for some Retributor armor. Yes, one side is going to be empty when I go and full when I come back. Full of books, full of Terry chocolate oranges, full of God knows what else you'll manage to find whilst you're here. All of the goodies. I'm sure. And Christmas presents and God knows what else. There we go. Keep looking at the photo for reference just so I can make sure that I'm getting roughly the right colour scheme. Because if I'm correct, I don't know if this is on Citadel yet. I haven't checked that. No, it is not. But that is fine. Just makes it more interesting when it comes to picking colours. It means everything is based purely off of how it looks, and then going, that looks about right. The little jewel on her forehead is actually gold as well, so I'm going to quickly fill that in. Very tiny jewel. Wants to focus on my skin for some reason. But yeah, she's coming together. Need the black out again now because I need to go ahead and paint her satchel. The acoustic that's playing in the background kind of feels very fitting for painting a enchantress. There we go. What I will be doing with her hair, because although it is black, I'm going to be adding a little bit of a blue hue to it, I think. Just because, one, I feel like it's quite fitting, and two, it makes her hair a little bit more interesting and brings out all those details. Okie dokie. I think it's time to move on to the water. Because whilst the black dries, I don't want to be messing with the gold in the centre. And obviously won't be doing any highlights until that is completely dry. So, question is now, do I go for more of a blue like... Give it a shake up first. Lothern blue first. Or do I go in with something like blue horror with contrast paint pile of glacier over the top? Obviously, it is obviously a contrast paint. It's going to be thinner than that, but if that's the kind of colour payoff, my thinking is maybe even like a slight mix of the two, and then the pile over the top. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Maybe the contrast first. I could do the contrast first. Yeah, if I do the contrast first, and then I could always do... See, these are layer paints, so really I should do the contrast first. I'll try that, see if I like the colour payoff. If not, I do have Ultramarines blue here as well. In case the other one's too light, I can go in with something like that. But I don't want it to be too dark. So I think I'll go in with the pile of glacier first, and then try layering in highlights and contrast with the Lothern and the blue horror. So So make sure I've got the right type of brush for this. Yeah, that was definitely a good idea. And then I'll just blend it down the center of the blade. And then pick up any pooling. Yeah, that was a very good idea. Simpler the better, really. Okay, now move on to her belt buckle. Double check is gold and not bronze. It is gold, fabulous. There we go. So aside from obviously the rocks and stuff she's standing on, that's her base finished, which has taken us just over an hour, which is not bad. Hi Optimus, how are you doing? All of the love, thank you very much. The one thing that is missing, which I'll be doing when I do my shading, It's just around like the bottom of her dress. It's a little bit muddy looking. So I might go in with a tiny bit of brown shading just around the edges of her dress. Just going to show it's a little bit, because it's a little bit worn. It's supposed to have some wear and tear. But since this is the jade realm that we're in right now for this. Yeah. So Inara Sion, the Cleansing Blade, is a survivor of the Jade Circle, who carries an amphora of water from the Everspring, which lashes out at foes by her command. Oh, that's her official. Doesn't the picture have blood on it? No, it doesn't actually. It's just it might do. It's just like a dirty brown colour. It's like a dirty brownish shade. Just trying to decide how I want to do it, whether or not I want to just get a bit of like a dry brushing thing and kind of like dust it across the bottom, or whether or not I wanted to do it with shading. Could be the dried blood of her enemies, you never know. Or it could just be mud, who knows? Oh no, it's from the picture on the Warhammer community. Someone painted her as a blonde with blood on her dress. Ooh. That's pretty cool, actually. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dry brush a little bit, but I'm going to mix a couple shades. So I've got some Cadian Flesh Tone, and I've mixed that with a tiny bit of Nightquester Flesh. I'm literally just going to brush that over the very bottom of her dress. And it just makes the bottom look a little bit more worn. Without being too much. Here we go. See, it's just like a tiny bit of detail on the bottom that is just otherwise lacking. So now it's there now. I'll have to have a look on that at the Warhammer community to look at the blonde with the blood on her, because that sounds pretty cool actually. Right. I think we're officially onto the shading stage. Because that is everything that needs to be added to her. I was going to go in with Targor Rage shade, but because it's purpley, it's like a purpley grey. I don't want to risk it too much, so I'm going to go in with some good old-fashioned Nuln oil. Can't beat it. It does the trick. And then I can start adding my lovely highlights to her. She's got quite a lot of highlights. Like, highlights are really what makes her, to be honest. Ooh, thank you very much for that sign. That's actually incredible. Signed on Discord has just sent me a photo from the Warhammer community page, and I got to see the lady with blood on her dress. I will show you guys the photo in a moment. They've all been painted quite abstract and quite colourful. So I'll show you guys that in just a moment. So I'll clean away any pooling first, and then I shall. There we go. Move her out the way for a moment. So I can show you all this photo that's from the Warhammer community page. And that one there is obviously the figure we're painting today. And someone's done with blonde hair and blood and gore everywhere, and it looks amazing. So these are all the heroes. Whisper looks especially good, I think. Over her chest piece, I'm going to go in with a very small brush and a very, very small amount of Drakenhoth Nightshade. Seeing a couple parts where the pooling is kind of sitting on any flat surfaces, which I don't want. So just quickly get rid of those before I move any further on. can just see it's just bringing out the details that are on her chest piece a little bit more, but I will be adding highlights to that just to kind of further emphasize that and make it a bit brighter. Just debating whether or not I want to dry brush her hair with a grey and then go over it with Drakenhof just to bring the blue through her hair. Obviously I could just highlight it, but I think dry brushing might pick up everything a bit easier, and then going with contrast or not contrast paint, a shade paint, and then add highlights on top of that. I think that might be a good idea. In fact, I might even dry brush with a little bit of blue horror, which is obviously very, very pale blue. Just putting her on her front whilst I dry brush over her hair, so don't fling her into oblivion, even though I am using a very light hand anyway. Yeah, that was the right idea. It just helps define all those L'Oreal curls that she's got going on. Without adding excessive amounts of pigment. Because she's worth it, she is. There we go. Whilst the shade paint's dry, I'm going to start adding some highlights now, because I don't want to obviously add anything onto that hair. One, because I actually quite like it as it is at the moment. I might not even need to add any shade, because it does just create a very, very soft blue hue. Like on the camera, it's definitely picking up more as like a light greyish white colour, but in person it's definitely more of a light blue. But I might change my mind later. But for now, we'll move on to our highlights. Which is going to be blue horror for any edges around the collar piece that she's got on. For her dress, it's going to be Ulthar and Grey. This is what I'm starting with. So I'm going to highlight her dress first. Blot spotted, yeah. Have you had your tea yet tonight, signed? Anything to eat? No, not yet, but I've had some sandwiches. Well, that's okay then. Something to kind of crave, to curb the hunger a little bit. In fact, I might even go in with some white scar as a highlight. Obviously, it is a layer paint, so this is kind of what it is designed for. So white scars there. The dirt look on the dress, that is really cool. Thank you. I think now I've added the Noel to it, it's just brought it to a whole nother level. Because the brown was really, really subtle before. And now it's just kind of amplified it a little bit, made it look a little bit grubbier. Because after all, she's a survivor. Like, she has to look a little bit grubby. She can't be clean and pristine constantly. Yeah, I definitely think using white scar was the better option for the highlight. Oops, sorry. Just trying to adjust to get myself comfortable and actually kicked the camera stand. Oops. The tripod. But it just adds a little bit of highlight back into the otherwise quite dark and grubby character. Looks good so far. Thank you. I think since we've had these paints, this is our second pot of white scar. The first one we had was so chunky and chalky, and it was just terrible, but this one is a lot thicker. And I don't know whether or not that's just, you know, whether or not we've got a good batch. But it's definitely got a better consistency. Much better. Because of the size, these are obviously, like, in my opinion, almost like the Middle Earth sized ones. I'm a bit worried when it comes to doing her facial features, like her eyes and her mouth. I currently have a cat staring at me from the other side of the table. Hello. The ginger one who's been kind of invading the streams, he's kind of glaring at me from across the table right now for some reason. Hello. He's looking like he's deciding whether or not he wants to cause chaos. But she's got just such tiny features. She's got a very dainty face. I'm a little bit like, oh, I don't know. Doing faces is always exciting for all the wrong reasons. I think that the other word for that is terrifying side. There we go. She's definitely coming together. Hence why I always do the helmets. Yeah. I don't blame you for always doing helmets. I think what I'm going to do is go in with a tiny bit of Reichland flesh shade on her face and on her hands and her feet, just to bring out the details. And then from there, I will decide how much of a face I need to do. So, Reichland flesh shade. Again, just a very small brush for this because, like I said, she's only got a little face. I'm going to pop out for a second, take the trash out, get some tea, and then be right back. No worries. They have put like a lot of detail in such a tiny little thing. Which is really, really nice to see. I think I'm going to have to brave at some point and do some eyes on her. I just don't know whether or not I can do those on stream, because I tend to have the figure really close to my face to do eyes. So I think... Next step is going to be using the light blue. Do the light blue highlights. I will then go in with some gold and silver highlights. And then I will do her base. And then move on to our dwarfy boy. And I will do eyes on her, but I will do the eyes off camera, just because I need to have it really close to my face. And even then, she could still be looking in 2 different postcodes. Right. I think I'm going to actually go in with Temple Guard blue for the highlights on the black on her satchel. I haven't used this blue yet. It looks good. highlighting used to be my least favourite thing, but since doing this figure and the 40k figure, I think it's become a new favourite. You can just about see it on the satchel there. I'm just kind of like touching the edges with the blue. It definitely takes it to a whole new level, especially when you can do such counter opposite colours. Like going in with grey or white on this would look really good, but I think going in with the blue just makes it look that much better. Just makes her satchel and belt just look a little bit better. And I think I will drag some of that through her hair as well, just because I like it that much. I think I'll use Blue Horror for the piece around her neck, and then I'll use Temple Guard Blue for her hair and her satchel. Let's move on to some hair highlights. I'm enjoying painting this, but I am really looking forward to painting the evil side, because I've been really enjoying painting the Plague Marines, so Death Guard, but Plague Marines from the Kill Team at the moment. So because they've been so enjoyable, I'm really looking forward to doing it on a larger scale. The cat's starting to play in the background. If you can hear any toys, I'm sorry, but they do what they want. Doing something on a larger scale that allows me to be a little bit more grim with the paint scheme. But that blue just looks really, really good in her hair. So many swirls. It reminds me of like when I was a teenager. There was like that's when that blue black hair became like a really big thing when I was in school. Like every girl who like couldn't have it had to have a quote unquote natural hair color. So they went for this like blue black thing. There we go. So what do here around her face now? I'm back. Hi, signed. I liked the blue highlights on the satchel so much that I've dragged them into her hair. So now she has a full head of essentially blue highlights. It's pretty cool. I like it. Yep, so now I'm going to go in with some blue horror. And that's going to be the highlight for around the thing around her neck. Oh, that is lovely. It makes it more magical. I think so. Because I just thought, it's a good blue I haven't used before, which is Temple Guard blue. I haven't used it before. It's the only one of my blue collection I was yet to use. So I thought I'll give it a go. If it's as vibrant as I think, then I'll be very happy, and luckily it is. So now she's got very blue hair. And then I'm going to apply this over where she's got these swirls. There we go. Now she just needs some silver highlights and some gold highlights, and then I think she's done. I'll do the bases off camera because I haven't decided how I want the bases to be yet. Whether or not I want to make them super boggy, or whether or not, because I saw a tutorial the other day, even though these have obviously got some stuff on them. I saw a tutorial that someone did the other day where they kind of made like a crystal base, and doing some crystals, obviously because it's jade circle, would be quite cool on some of them. So I'm tempted to add stuff. So until I've made up my mind, I will leave the bases blank and just do everything else on the figure. But I'm very happy with her so far. I think she looks rather lovely. Alright, did my sun catchers. Now I'm going to try and make little bows for my itty bitties. They are going to be so cute. I need to see these when they are done. I'd say add glitter to her base to give a watery effect. I have Ard coat for that as well, so I might do... Because this is swamp, so I might do swampy green with Ard coat for water. Maybe. Ideas. Too many ideas. Too many options. Right. For silver highlights, of course, if it wants to focus, it's going to be Stormhost Silver again. And for gold highlights, Auric Armor Gold. Green glitter then. Could do green glitter. I do have some green glitter. Somewhere. I think it's upstairs in one of our boxes of stuff for this. I think I'll start with the gold highlight. And I will do eyes on this figure signed, but I will be doing the eyes off camera just because I have to have her really close to my face to do them. It's not really any fun for you guys to watch me do eyes on camera when it has to be in my face because there'll be nothing on screen. Because once I added the right colour to her face, I didn't really do too much. I was like, yeah, I could still do with actually adding eyes. Bare minimum, just eyes. But I might add a tiny bit of Bugman's Glow to her mouth as well, just to obviously make that more tongue coloured. Should I try that now? I am gonna try it now. She's supposed to have like teeth on show, but adding teeth would be too stressful. So it's made her mouth a little bit pink. Which you can't really even tell on camera. Not really, because it is just literally a dot. I must be feeling brave. I think my brush is too dry. But I don't want to add too much water to it because then the minute I add this white dot, it will just go running down her face. There we go. She has two very, very tiny white dots for eyes. They are minuscule. That is as good as they're going to get. I am not adding any more. I'm not adding pupils. Yeah, I was just thinking if I could like drag it out to the sides. Can't even do that. The eyes are that small. So that's how that's going to be left. Right. Away from the stressful part. Highlights. There we go. Okay. So just silver highlights now. Which for that again is Stormhost silver. Focusing that mostly on the outer edges. And just dragging it down the very, very tip of the blade as well. And I think just on the bottom of her little like neck thing, add a little bit of silver there. But yeah, said I'm not good with bases. I'm gonna leave those. So I'd say it's the first one done. Almost, except for the base, obviously. That's good old Esmeralda. She looks at the Kids' Day Pog.
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 Oh,
Looks as the kids say Pog. I don't know what that means.
Sounded cool.
Sounds like it might be good. Sounds like it also could be really bad. I don't know, but I'm gonna take it as a good thing. I'm gonna say thanks. But I love where I've dragged the silver down the blade at the top, where the water's obviously just touching it or about to touch it. And it just kind of makes it look there's like a tiny drizzle of water kind of like dripping down the blade. But yeah, I'm happy with her. So that is, what's her name again? That's Inara. Her official name Inara. But Esmeralda. She's Esmeralda to us. We just need to make Quasimodo. Maybe this is her version of Quasimodo. AKA Steve. He's only a little guy. what was it? Steve 7 axes, but only has 2 and doesn't count good. I think that was his official title. Going to show you a photo of what he's expected to look like, which colour scheme wise I might stick to, or very close to, but what I might do is incorporate some lighter blues as well, just because I like the idea of, I have the image in my head of one of the old animated versions of The Hobbit, where all of the outfits were really colourful, the dwarves, and that's kind of the idea I have in my head for Steve. So he will kind of follow this, but be ever so slightly different. Just ever so slightly. So Mr. Drolf Ironhead, the grizzled explorer, you are next. I think I'll start with his face because his skin is very, very light. So I would have added highlights to Inara or Esmeralda's face, but once I added the shade and then once I did the eyes and the nose, I think because her features are so dainty, if I added highlight to her face as well, it would just kind of bleed out and it wouldn't look great. Whereas he's got slightly bigger face, just ever so slightly. He's got more features that I can focus on. So he will be having highlights on his face, where she's got eyes and a mouth and all that stuff added. So she's got more features than some of the minis I've done in the past. Yeah. So we're going to go in with Kislev Flesh and Bugman's Glow. That is my go-to mixture for doing white skin, because it just gives that obviously flesh tone with a pink undertone. And then if I'm doing brown skin, then I do something like Night Quest Flesh, or even sometimes darker, depends on what how dark I want the skin to be, and I'll mix it with Bugman's just to give it a warm glow to it, so it's not just straight up brown. Only negative is until he has his highlights, his face looks a little bit sunburnt. What is it, 11 days till Christmas today? Has everybody got everything sorted for Christmas? Like gifts and such? And he's wearing gloves, so I don't need to do I literally just need to do his face. There we go, skin, done. Nice and easy. He's just peeking out at you underneath his hood. Yes, mostly, that's good. Still need to get a gift for my mum and dad. We bought a bunch of gifts yesterday for like parents and stuff, so they're done. And who knows, this year everyone else's gift could very well be the fact that they're becoming an aunt, an uncle, a cousin, or whatever. We've got a few gifts that we've purchased for people, but an additional gift could be that they are getting a grandchild born this side of Christmas rather than the other side. I think didn't get to use very much of it last time. I'm going to go in with the Fang. It's like a purpley one for most of his armor, rather than it's kind of like, again, like a rust grey kind of look, and I do love that color, but I don't want them all to have that. I want to have something a little different. But I do get to give this guy a mighty ginger and brown beard. He has a brown mustache and a ginger beard and a brown goatee, which I quite like, so I might stick to that. Only thing I might do for this is add a tiny bit of dark grey into the Fang. Just because I feel like his fabric would be a bit more worn than this, and this is quite vibrant still. That's more the colour I was after. Perfect. That's a bit better. It's got a bit of a cape. Only a little one, but a bit of a cape. So rather than no capes, it's small capes. Yes, small capes. I think that seems fair. Even though colour scheme wise this isn't exactly matched, it's ever so slightly off, I'm still trying to get placement right, so I keep looking down at my reference photo. Thing is, his cape, we don't see the back of his cape, so I don't know what colour it is.
Pink. Pink.
You say pink. What colour cape should I give you, Mr. Steve Seven Axes? This piece I've missed out on his shoulder is going to be metal, so that's why I've left it. But it's just a little cape, just a little one. I think I'm going to have to go boring and go like a browny colour maybe. Or grey. I think I'll go grey. Just because I've gone for like a purpley base. Go for like a dark grey cape. Some silver metallics. Brown gloves, and then I'll do his beard, I think, completely ginger rather than brown and ginger. I think I'll do his beard entirely ginger. Going in with Mechanicus Standard Grey for his cape, for his small cape. Because he's just a small guy. He's just a little guy. That's his excuse. That's the one he uses when he starts running at your knees with his axes. He's just a little guy. He's like the Jack Russell of characters. So he's just little and just absolutely ferocious. Or a chihuahua. There we go. Small cape. I might be a bit bold here. I'm going outside the box. I'm using silver, but I'm not using lead belcher. And I'm not using Stormhouse silver either. Brace yourselves. I'm using Iron Warriors. Heretic, I know. I'm using Iron Warriors. I feel like it suits him better. Being a dwarfy boy, Iron Warriors feels better. So my bows are going to be uneven. Nothing wrong with that. Oh no, somebody called the Inquisition. Exactly. This is actually a silver that's been mixed with purples, actually. And comically large for the itty bitty, and comically large for the itty bitties. That makes it better. Okay. The other option for this guy would have been just to make him look like a mini Santa Claus. That would have been the other option. Just a really angry Santa Claus. I don't know his character. He could be really nice, but I just get the impression that because he's supposed to be a grizzled explorer, he's going to be a bit on the grumpy side. That's the vibe he gives off. Just on his tum-tum, he has like a little shield protecting the belly. Just a little one. So I've painted that with the silver as well. Got to protect the tum-tum. His axes are going to be fun to do, actually. I'm looking forward to doing those, which I'll do those in a moment, actually. Because I get to use bronze. I'm probably thinking I might use some... I've just put it away. I know it's here somewhere. Doom Bull Brown, I think. Some bronze. And then some silver. Considering the fact that I have been pregnant for 9 months, I still have no spatial awareness. And when I stand up, I knock stuff and then I'm shocked. So obviously that's Doom Bull Brown. Let's focus. It doesn't, but we're going back into that in a moment. That's going to be like both of his axes are wrapped in like a leather wrap. So it's going to be that for the Doom Bull is going to be the leather. I'm then going to use a shook copper. And I will use Iron Warrior as well. So I'm really going out of the box. I'm going to use Iron Warrior for his axes as well. Living life dangerously. I think I'm going to start with the leather. So I'll start with Doomball. There we go. Now I'm going to do his silver. Not his silver, his copper. Got to use copper two figures in a row today. Wow. Just picking the right brush. For your bows, Sign, what did you use to make them? Milliput and a wax stamp that has a bow on it. I'm already regretting my choice. Oh dear. Any particular reason why you're regretting your choice? because the mother is sticking to the seal. Oh dear. Do you have any, like, I don't know if cornstarch or anything that would be any good for anything like that? To help with sticking? Or if you have any isopropyl alcohol, sometimes that helps with the stickiness. And the bow is quite fine. So it's a dainty thing with lots of sticky stuff that doesn't want to do as it's told. Not a great combination. So is it the cornstarch or the alcohol you have? Or both? I do have another seal with a bow, but that one is almost the size of the itty bitties. Yeah, that's not going to do you any good. Have disinfectant alcohol. Okay, you could try putting a little bit of that into the stamper on the mold just to kind of help create a tiny barrier. Obviously, if that messes it up, I do apologise, but I'm just thinking something that will help with preventing the adhesion while still getting the shape. So you want the shape of it, but you don't want it to stick to the mold because therefore you can't then get it out. I can try. Even if you don't do it on like a full bow, just like a tiny bit of milliput to see if it helps. Saves you doing all the work for it to not work. So, Iron Warriors again. There we go. Little drink break. So what are the next few cards I'm going to need? So I'm going to need some Abaddon Black. I'm going to use some Katachan Flesh, Abaddon Black, and what else? Steel Legion Drab, I think, and some Rakath Flesh. I think that'll do it. Could do with a cooler toned brown, really, for his gloves. Which one do I want to use, though? Or even just a slightly darker brown. Yeah, I'll go for Dryad Bark, actually. That'll be slightly darker. I can do his gloves with that. I give up. Oh dear. So going in with Dryad Bark, I'm going to use that for his gloves. The alcohol does a good job of cleaning the milli part off the stamp, but it keeps sticking. I don't know what else to suggest trying. Is Nyx nearby today? Is she close to you whilst you're watching the stream again? No, she's on her tower in the living room. She's like, not interested today. I don't need human contact. I'm fine over here. There we go. He has some brown gloves now. Okay. I'm just having a little peruse, just kind of getting a general feel. Okay. I think we're going with Catashan Flesh for his backpack now. So there's so many angles of certain photos of certain characters, and you're like, okay. But then when it's like something that is not in the photo, you're like, what are you supposed to look like? There's lots of stuff on his back that I don't know what the heck it is. And because of that, I'm a bit like, oh, where do I put it? What is it? There we go. He's a little bit more of that. He's got like a little bit of leather padding here on his leg. He's slowly coming together. Okay. I'm going to go back in with some Doomball Brown because there's a couple of little satchely things that I want to be a slightly different tone. And the top of his axe is covered once on his waist. Ooh. For his axe on his waist, because he's got obviously the two fighting axes in his hands, and on his waist he has one that's obviously designed for wood cutting. So I'm going to use some Steel Legion drab. for the actual handle. Okay. Now I'm going to go with some Rakarth flesh, which I'll decant first. Rakarth flesh. And that'll be to go over all of the ropes and stuff that he has around all the edges of his clothing. It's quite a neutral toned character, really. In fact, before I go with black, there's a couple spots where, now that I've filled in certain sections, I can get a bit closer with my original greyish purple colour. So I'm going to go in and add that in now. Make sure all these straps and stuff are obviously covered. I think what he's got on his back is some kind of gun/weapon. He's looking good so far, thank you. He's coming together, slowly but surely, he's coming together. Gives me Gloin vibes, thank you. Gimli, son of Gloin. Here. I'm assuming this is some kind of weapon on his back, so I'm going to fill it in with some metallics, because it looks like it has some kind of spikes on it, and it looks like it has a handle. And it doesn't look like anything else he's got on him, so... There we go. Rothman was just inspecting what it is. He thinks it's a crossbow of some description. I agree. But it is now a metallic one. Nyx has decided to join me. Yay, you have been blessed. By the little goddess that is Nyx. She's like, I guess I will grace my human with my presence. There we go. Now does his boots and his beard to fill in. And that's his base done. We've been going for 3 hours. I think I will just do the base on this guy today. Just because I know when we finally get to... Where is she? When we finally get to Whisper, aka the tiny, tiny doggo, that's not going to take me very long. So, I'd rather finish off this guy beginning of next stream and do that. Because next stream is going to be tomorrow anyway. So it's not like we have to wait that long to see him be completed. There we go. So now we just have one final thing to do, and that is his beard. Which I think I'm actually going to use Scrag Brown for, which is like a browny orangey colour. And then when I go in with shading, I'll make it slightly darker and then add brighter oranges for the highlight. And there we go. That is Drolf Ironhead, aka Steve 7 Axes, base painted. So So beginning of next stream tomorrow, he will be shaded and highlighted, so he'll be the priority first. And then I think I will do this big boy tomorrow, which everyone get his name up first. AK Krampus. But Drescher Vaughn, I'll do him tomorrow. And probably start this lady. Who is Bren Tylis. The base colours look good, thank you. But I will probably paint those two tomorrow and finish off our little dwarfy boy. Looking forward to seeing what they all look like. Me too, to be honest. Because I currently have... I'm trying to stick relatively close to what they look like in the photos. But having a little bit of creative license. Oh, she is cool too. Yeah, she is really cool. So I'll be doing her tomorrow. So, for refresher, we've got to the base layer of him today. And we have finished... Let me just focus on her. Finished Esmeralda. Except for her base. But she looks awesome. I'm very proud of her. But, that being said, thank you very much for watching tonight, guys. It's been greatly appreciated. This is obviously the first part of a very, very long series of painting all of the Warhammer Quest Darkwater figures. This week will be all of the heroes, next week will be all of the villains. And so long as I don't go into labour, that shouldn't change. We'll just continue doing it as we go. And then probably it'll be just after Christmas. We will then, myself and Mr. Nerd or WARHAMMER will then actually play a full game of this. We will set it up and we will play a game of it, and you can watch us play Warhammer Quest Darkwater with all the figures painted, so you can see how well they perform. But yeah, that'll be it from me today. Thank you very much for sticking around, Sign. Thank you very much, everybody who's just been watching us tonight. It's been greatly appreciated. Thank you, Optimus Prime, for popping in earlier. It was nice seeing you. And yeah, we will see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your evening, guys, and goodbye for now.